So in today's video, it is go time on the homestead. It is a gorgeous spring morning and we are supposed to get up to like 78 degrees today. The nice thing is the winds are down and we are not predicted to have any storms. So I can finally get seeds in the ground and also harden off my plants. I have so much to do and I'm gonna take you along on a day in the life on our homestead. Welcome to Pinebrook Homestead. My name is Marie, a happy wife with 4 boys, 2 grandchildren, and 1 on the way. I've been a full-time mother and homemaker for 35 years, with the last 9 knee-deep in the changes of midlife. Throughout these years, I've gained wisdom I cannot wait to share, plus discuss some of the changes we are facing. Join me as I tackle midlife, gardening to feed our family, cooking from scratch, and frugal living, all sprinkled with some inspiration for you. Spring is an amazing time of year. One day I can see my neighbors and the next they disappear behind the green of the leaves. You see, I live in the suburbs, but my heart has always been in the countryside. So today we are tackling the green stalks. These are amazing vertical growing containers. They have 5 rows with 6 pockets for plants. So that's 30 plants in one green stalk. We're going to freshen up the soil, fertilize it, and add some more, topping them off so we can get them planted. My dream was always to have a small farm. But due to jobs, schools, and our parents, we chose this place to call home and raise our kids. But I never let that stop me from creating the gardens. The very first year we were here on an old crickety deck, I started planting containers. And that was how I learned how to grow, how to take care of the plants, pruning them, and what needed to be done. It was successful, but I wanted more. So the next year we added 3 raised beds. They were the oldest beds in the lower garden. Each year after that, we added 3 more. And then final push, creating the lower garden with 11 raised beds. You know, in 2020, we found ourselves laid off and frankly scared. The grocery store shelves were bare. People were masked up. The fear in their eyes was the only thing you could see. And at that moment, my husband and I decided we were not going to let this world dictate if we had or had not. It was March and we got to work to build the upper garden. We thought if we could extend our growing space, we could put up so much more nutritious food. Now you might be wondering about the trash bag filled with soil behind me. Let me explain. This is the soil from last year's potato bags. So we grew the potatoes in there, and then my frugal ways, and I don't waste anything, I put the soil in the black trash bags. I leave them on my deck for the rest of the summer. They bake in the hot summer sun. Then they freeze in the cold winter, and then they warm up with the spring. Then what I will do is I will use that soil and put it back into my containers. I know some gardeners are going to go, reuse the soil? No way. What if there is disease or anything in it? I have never had a problem because of leaving them out for the rest of the summer, through the winter, and into the spring. The sun bakes it, and when they freeze, anything that's in there dies. So it is just another frugal method. So we're going to put the containers back together. Both of them are now completed and it is time to plant. 2020 was also the year we secured our own meat and egg sources. I was so grateful. We took our stimulus checks and created a pantry, stocking up on the items we could not grow, and we built a cold room. I remember one day driving and praying, God, is this wise, spending this money on food? I was nervous about spending the money. All of a sudden, a horned owl flew right in front of my windshield, and time slowed down as he turned and looked into my eyes. My heart raced at that moment, but I had a sudden peace that what I was doing was exactly what God wanted me to do. Flash forward to today, and I'm forever grateful. The gardens, freezer, and cold room saved my budget as the grocery prices continued to rise. I left my employment, and now we are facing more unknowns. Some even call it a recession, even depression. Here I am just adding some spinach into a pot so that it is something I can race out and add some greens into a salad. And you can see that I have straw on the green stalks. So I buy this straw in bags, and every time I go to the garden center or whatever, I'll pick up a bag so that I have it. But what it does is it keeps the soil moist underneath when it's in the sun. And that way the seeds can germinate, but also it lessens the amount of water that you need. I thought I would take a moment break and chat with you just a second about everything that's going on and our plans, and why I think you might want to do a little bit for yourself too. So we all know that the grocery prices are skyrocketing and they're getting worse. And supposedly we have 90 days until these tariffs, whatever this means, or if it's going to get extended even longer, it doesn't matter. Because this is what I want to say. If you do not have some sort of a stocked pantry, please, by all means, before these tariffs hit or whatever else is coming, stock yourself up. And if it's a budget issue, take $5, $7 a week and just add some things. I was looking at my ads yesterday for grocery stores, and I saw that Meijer has 7 for $7. And some of the items on those was pasta. And you could get 7 boxes of pasta and put it away for $1 a box. And it's looking for those types of things. If you have a patio or a deck or anything like that, but you do not have a yard, or you do not have a garden, or you don't even want to spend the money to do that, maybe the budget is tight, get a packet of seeds for a salad bowl, which is what I planted. And
you'll be able to eat off of it. This year, the cabbage butterfly moth is out. I just saw one. I have my brassicas covered. I have to in this state, or that stupid white butterfly will absolutely decimate all of my brassicas. So I'll be showing you all that anyways. But normally I take my entire deck and I fill it with herbs and flowers and all that kind of stuff, and not this year. I'm going to show you how you can grow zucchini in a container, how you can grow, I normally grow potatoes in bags, but I'm not growing potatoes this year. I'm going to show you how you can grow peppers and tomatoes and all of these things in containers, because this half-acre suburban homestead is literally going to be a food forest. I will have some flowers to pull in the pollinators, but we are growing food. And you can easily learn how to can, freeze, anything. You don't even have to have a big canner, like a pressure canner, if you want to grow some of these things. So today, thus far, I have seeded carrots in my 2 green stalks. I have seeded some spinach on the deck, and I have seeded a salad bowl on the deck. Now, I have a lot of lettuce that I started from seed downstairs. I have brought some of it up, but I need to pot up some of it. And that's all going in the garden. I'm not messing around. I'm not. We are a single income family with my part-time jobs, and the one thing, I don't need anything else. I just need food for my family. And I am not willing to wreck a budget just because of the grocery store and everything that's going on in the world. So join me, and I'm going to take you along. And this is kind of where I'm at this point. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will answer anything, but like I said, I'm going to be showing you all along how I'm doing everything. And seed packets, one seed packet, the seed packet that I made the salad bowl from, which I probably have 1,000 seeds in that packet, was $2.79. Last week at the grocery store, 1 head of romaine was $2.79. Grab a pot, grab some dirt, you can grow. You really can.
We are making progress on the site of our 3rd garden area. We had to chop up all the wood, and we are making a lasagna garden.
My laundry room is now a potting station. We planted outside. I still have more to do, but right now the garden bed is beating in the sun, and I did get a little bit of sun, so I didn't want to just stay out there all day. Plus, I had tomatoes to pot up, I have peppers to pot up, and I'll show you what else I potted up thus far.
Well, it is 5:30, and I need to get something on the table for dinner. You know, with Easter, I didn't go to the grocery store. I had so many leftovers that we needed to work through. But today, it is time to use some things up. So I grabbed a chuck roast out of the freezer, and I am putting together a stew. But I don't have potatoes. I used them all up for Easter. So I'm using mushrooms and carrots, some onion, and then the chuck roast that I made into stew meat. Now, don't forget, don't throw out your peels or the ends of the carrots, because if you put them in a Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer, you can use it for your own broth. I do keep my carrots stored in an airtight container, and I find they last so much longer. But I need to use these up as well, so we are just going to chop them up and get them into the stew. This chuck roast also gave me a great beef bone to be able to make more bone broth with. So I am just going to mark the bag and get it put into the freezer for the next time that I want to make my beef broth. So I did put on the saute option on my Instapot, and I'm just going to put the beef in and brown it up a little bit with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and just sear in that flavor. And then I will also add my onions to this. Now the nice thing about this is just my kind of own recipe that I've put together, but the nice thing about using the Instapot is the stew literally takes 20 minutes on high pressure to cook, and then the meat is so moist and so tender. It is now the only way I will make a beef stew. I did not have any beef broth made up, so I just used that Better Than bouillon and made 2 cups of a broth to put into this stew. And then I am going to add about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Now, I love the Cento tomato paste in these tubes because I can squeeze out 1 tablespoon without having to open a whole can of tomato paste. I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And in go the vegetables. We'll stir everything up, lock the lid, and set it for 20 minutes on high pressure. Oh, I grabbed fresh thyme from the garden too. That is always the best part about having your fresh herbs outside. "20 minutes and it's done." Although I am going to thicken the broth with a little bit of cornstarch and water, and it came out beautifully. Now, because I did not have potatoes, I did end up making some rice, and we just served it over the rice for dinner. And it was just my son and I. He loved it over rice without the potatoes. So I will probably try this again. It is after dinner and I have to get the peas in. So that is what I am doing here. I am planting a double-sided row of green peas. Now, last year's pea harvest, it was a disaster. We had a rabbit come and eat at the bottom of all the stalks of the peas. So my husband and I have talked about, once they come up, wrapping this garden bed in chicken wire so that the rabbits cannot get in. One last task to do on this full garden day. I have to seed my cucumbers as well as some of my squashes, and they germinate very quickly and they will be ready to go out in May. So I always wait. One year I did not wait long enough to do this, and at the end of April the weather was too bad, and I had these monster plants to put out. So I know you can direct sow them. I just like to get a head start on them. To all of my loyal subscribers who sent their condolences on us losing Flora, I want to thank you so much. It was a very difficult week last week. And then with Easter, I was exhausted. I took Monday off and literally rest the whole day. But got to get moving again. So we will get back up to our normal schedule and bring you along through all of our gardening. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you liked today's video, would you consider liking? It really does help our channel, and subscribing. We're going to take you along on our journey of growing our food and our daily activities on the homestead, as well as what we're dealing in midlife. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again.